everyone. So again, thank you for being here, either virtual or in person. One thing I would like to be sure everybody is aware of, Animal Sense University, I put some of these flyers around on the tables and this wonderful little QR code. I don't know how they work, but if you scan it, you as a gift from Animal Sense University, my partner, Kate Brown, who's a certified clinical aromatherapist, and I are giving every participant, either virtual, or in person, our foundations course. The foundations for essential oil use in animals. We go over what essential oils are, how they're made, how to determine the quality, applications, and we even show videos of how to do this. So it's a great beginning course, even for those who may have a lot of experience with that. And then also we really dive into some of the considerations that you need to be aware of if you're choosing to use essential oils with your animals. So make sure you do the little scan thing, because we're going to shut it off on Monday, that's the 17th. So on your travels home or here over the weekend, if you're at home already, make sure you get that done, because the code is going to go away on Monday, okay? And the other thing I would just say is when you're going through the courses, this is the way we designed it, that if you have any questions, you can email, there's a place you can put it in right there. We get an email and we'll answer you as quick as we can. So it's not just you're out there on your own, we're there for you, and we offer that kind of support. So we work really hard at making sure we get everybody's questions answered. So enjoy the class. And there are a lot of other offerings that we have too at Animal Sense University for 6 different species. We have a class on oils for winter, oils for summer, oils for senior animals. There's just a lot there. So check out the website. All right, ready to get started? Because we're getting into that holiday season, right? And it's kind of pretty much fun from here on out, I think. So what I'd like to do is go over some things that you might want to be aware of, not trying to be a doom and gloom with the holiday season, but there's a lot of things that if you're not aware of, we might be inadvertently damaging the health of our pets as well as ourselves too. So if you're aware of some of these things, we can maybe make better choices. And there's actually some really cool things you can do to counteract these effects on your pets, your home space, your barn space. So let's get rolling, shall we? Okay, who decorates their home with these kind of things during the year? What about your barn, the stalls in your barn? Maybe your dog's crate, that type of thing. With, you have Christmas trees, fake or real, garlands, candles, air fresheners. I kind of used to be one of those people, but then essential oils came into my life. So yep, candles and air fresheners are pretty much banned. But I mean, it's always nice, you have that flickering candle or that spicy, sweet scent. It always enhances the ambiance, if you will, especially when people get together, when your friends, your families, your coworkers get together. So that's just kind of all part of the season. Just makes everything a little bit more cozy. And what would the holidays be without gifts? How many people buy presents for their dog, their cat, their horses? Yep. And how many buy gifts for other people's animals too? So yeah, it's just a great season of giving, right? But have you ever stopped to think about what you may be exposing yourselves or your animals to? There's lots of good things to eat and drink this time of year too. So again, we need to be aware of that, because our animals may have some dietary indiscretions, and that can cause some problems too. We don't want them to overindulge and have those kind of GI consequences, front end, back end. That's no fun cleaning up, right? Who has heard of off-gassing? People aware of off-gassing? Okay. All right. Off-gassing is what happens when you have new or manufactured items that release chemicals that have been trapped into them. Everybody's familiar with a new car smell? What does your furniture smell like when you buy a new piece of furniture or carpet You ever had carpet put in your house? So everybody's kind of familiar with those kind of scents, smells, stench, if you will. And what that is actually VOCs, volatile organic compounds that are being released. They're the primary culprit that create that kind of a smell. And when you open those packages and all that's released into the air, not a good thing. The volatile organic compounds, VOCs, were used to produce those kind of products, and they were originally in a liquid or solid state. And then when you open the package or the products start to be used, those are now being released as particulate matter and gases into the air. And just be aware, this is not an innocuous process. Just because you don't smell it, just because you don't detect a smell, doesn't mean it's not happening. Some of the compounds released include formaldehyde, benzene, trichloroethane, chlorofluorocarbons, and phthalates, and a lot more. Our pets are at risk because they are not only on these items, as my dear friend who's no longer with us, Dr. Jeff Mills, said, all my patients are barefoot and naked. So they're a lot of times they're on these, 24/7, or they're being exposed to them 24/7, and they're ingesting them when they lick themselves. They walk on these items, like the carpet, your new furniture, the pet beds, and those chemicals are actually accumulating on their foot pads. And when these animals lick themselves, it's going to be ingested. When they smell some of these compounds, it's going to go into the nose, and that can be a major problem. Okay. And it's one of the things, I just remembered this, the long-nosed dogs tend to have more nasal problems, like tumors, problems there, the brachiocephalic, the short-nosed individuals. When they're exposed to a lot of these compounds, it goes more directly into the lungs, where there can be problems there. So something to be aware of. And these effects are cumulative. Many of these compounds are heavier than air, and they can collect to toxic levels in poorly ventilated areas. Again, if you smell something, that's not a good thing, but just because you can't smell it doesn't mean it's happening. And with these chemicals being heavier than air, they're going to accumulate down low. Guess where our animals are? Okay. Here's an example of something to think about too. Children exposed to the same levels of trichloroethane vapor as adults, if they're exposed to the same amount as adult would be, they actually get a larger dose of that chemical because they have a greater lung surface area to body weight ratio, and they have a greater minute volume to weight ratio. What does that mean? Okay, you have a child's lung and an adult human, an adult's lung. When they breathe in that same amount in a smaller area, that's a bigger dose versus it being diluted in an adult's lung area space, okay? When an adult breathes, takes a breath of air, that same amount of air would be how many breaths for a child? So again, they're getting a lot more contact with that. And so bottom line is they're exposed to higher levels than adults, and because they're generally shorter, they're closer to these compounds too. So what do you think that might apply to our pets as well? Yep. So what can we do about it? Lots of things we can do about it. When you get your artificial tree, when you buy it or you get it out of storage, let it air out outside the house, maybe in the garage, before you bring it in. You want that plastic smell to dissipate, okay? If you're currently treeless and you're in the market for an artificial tree, really do some research about what if you're looking online or if you're going to the store, really read the labels and check it out. Most of these trees are made with PVC, polyvinyl chloride, which is probably one of the most environmentally damaging plastics out there. The whole process of making a PVC item, from making it to actually using it and then disposing of it, releases a lot of toxic chlorine-based chemicals into your space. So if you're looking for an artificial tree, look for ones that are made with polyethylene, PE, or polypropylene, PP. These plastics are generally safer than PVC, and they usually have less chance for lead contamination, as well as less additives like phthalates. Okay. For a real Christmas tree, in my kitchen, on the hood over the stove, how he stays up there, I don't know. And unfortunately, the cupboard's right behind him. He's figured out how to pop those open. So I come home, those are open. It's I don't have gremlins, I have Mr. Mal. But the dog cat liked it. I use an einkorn flower. There may be other flowers you can substitute. You know, if your pet can tolerate wheat, or anytime you're cooking or making treats for your pets, I really encourage you to use organic when you're making things for them. And again, treats are for being treated, good in moderation, not 10, 15, 20 of them a day. When I start asking owners how many treats they're getting, they're giving their pets, they kind of go, oh, yeah. So it adds up. I also topped these with dried wolfberries when I made them. And the dried wolfberries also make great pet candy. I have to lock up my dried wolfberries or the cat gets in them. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for being here, and enjoyed my time with you today. And so hopefully we can make some better choices. Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, Happy Halloween. We'll see you later. Thank you.